Good evening, everyone. How are you? Whoa. You guys are excited, aren't you?
Hello, Toronto!
This is a very exciting night for us.
I'm really freaking excited to be here tonight.
What a great audience.
I'm so excited to be here. It's such a great honor.
I'm so honored to be able to show my film to this august crowd.
What's really fun is people who love film, and you are all that. And we're very proud and happy to be here with all of you.
We should not be afraid to tell stories because we are afraid that people will judge.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity and a platform to be able to showcase our work as female filmmakers.
This is for my parents who couldn't come, so thank you. I'm going to prove it to them. I did it!
I've just realised what Tiff actually stands for. Toronto is fucking fantastic.
This is the story of our city, and we're a very proud city, and I want the world to see it.
Hello, everyone. And thank you so much for joining us this afternoon to celebrate the incredible filmmaking talent behind the Canadian Film Selection for the 2018 Toronto International Film Festival. I'm Piers, Director and CEO of Tiff. And this has always been one of my favorite moments of the entire year when we bring the Canadian filmmakers together for the opening press conference. It really is, there's such incredible excitement. And of course, it's all about our own films. It's about us, and this is what makes it so exciting. To begin, we would like to acknowledge that this land where we gather today has been a site of human activity for 15,000 years. This land is the territory of the Huron-Wendat and Petun First Nations, the Seneca, the Haudenosaunee, and most recently, the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nation. The territory was the subject of the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, an agreement between the Iroquois Confederacy and Confederacy of the Ojibwe and allied nations to peaceably share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. Today, the meeting place of Toronto is still the home to many Indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work in the community. This morning, we announced 47 Canadian features, shorts, and installations that will screen at the 43rd Toronto International Film Festival. We're very excited to celebrate another outstanding year of Canadian cinema. Canada is a country with strong international roots. We're home to nearly 200 different nationalities that speak more than 200 languages. And the Toronto International Film Festival has built its foundation and its world-class reputation on the strength and diversity of our audience. Now, TIFF's audience is a combination of film lovers, people seeking new knowledge, and creators, all equal in their love for and curiosity about cinema and its ability to transform the way we see the world. Each year, our audience opens its arms to Canada's best filmmakers and creative artists. And throughout my 36 years working for TIFF, I've had the privilege to share hundreds of unforgettable moments alongside them. The Canadian films featured in the 2018 selection will introduce us to bold new characters and thought-provoking narratives about the world around us, our home, and our people. Festival audiences will get a glimpse into the way our country's most established filmmakers and some exciting emerging filmmakers artistically interpret the world we live in today. Across every genre, we'll see stories told of ordinary and extraordinary Canadian lives. We're very proud to bring these films to Toronto, and we sincerely thank everyone for your contribution to this year's festival. Now, this will be my final year as Director and CEO of TIFF. In the 36 years since I joined the festival, imagine 36 years ago, as a programmer, the landscape of the film industry has evolved and changed in unexpected and unimaginable ways. I came to the festival because of my love of Canadian cinema. I loved the work and how it spoke to me as a Canadian. I loved what made Canadian cinema different from other cinemas. I recognized our voice, a distinctive voice in the films. I wanted to understand this voice and to do as much as I possibly could to bring these films to a wider public. The festival, and now the larger organization I work for, Tiff, has allowed me to do this alongside many, many other people. As you well know, the making of a film is an act of faith. It requires a collective effort. It is full of risks. I've attended years of Canadian press conferences since we started this tradition in the mid-1980s, and I've always stood in complete admiration of the creative artists like you who take these risks. Please continue to do so. Be bold. Do not be afraid. I like to think in all of my naive optimism that your risk-taking will be rewarded. Our commitment to Canadian filmmaking is unwavering. When it comes to the film community and our audience of film lovers, we will endeavor to lead the change we are all seeing around us. Now, as I started with Canadian programming way back in 1983, so did Cameron in 1990. My God, we were handsome young men then, weren't we? Cameron had hair. I'm sorry, Cameron, I had to embarrass you with this photo. So we were colleagues working on assembling the Canadian selection. As I leave, I know that Tiff's commitment to our cinema is in good hands. Please welcome Cameron Bailey, Artistic Director and soon-to-be co-head of Tiff.
Thank you, Piers. Feels good. I've been fortunate to work alongside Piers Handling for many, many years and many haircuts. We programmed Canadian films together. I can remember traveling across this country, spending a lot of time in Montreal in screening rooms that may no longer exist. And it was always to try to keep audiences engaged with the power of film. And I was always inspired by Piers's leadership. So thank you, Piers. And I'm honored to be entrusted with guiding the future of film. We're very pleased to share that we have renewed commitments from our major sponsor, RBC. They and the many other people who support what we do keep this festival and our support of Canadian cinema happening. Their continued investment in Tiff and in emerging filmmakers is essential in helping us to provide world-class experiences and opportunities for film lovers and creators across the globe. I also want to acknowledge our lead sponsor, Bell, our major sponsors, L'Oréal Paris and Visa, and all of our public supporters, the Government of Ontario, Telefilm Canada, and the City of Toronto. And we would like to acknowledge our major industry supporters, the Ontario Media Development Corporation and Telefilm Canada, for their continued support of our festival initiatives each year. We look forward to continuing our work with all of you during what promises to be a very exciting year ahead. And of course, we want to thank our donors and members, maybe many of you in the room today, for supporting TIFF's charitable mission of bringing the power of film to life all year round. Big thanks also to this place, the historic Fairmont Royal York Hotel, our venue host. They've graciously opened up their doors for us year after year. Thank you to them. Now, a reminder, Festival Street returns for a 5th year to animate King Street for the first 4 days of the film festival. This is free, it's fun, it's interactive, and it's a hub that brings the festival spirit outdoors, inviting both locals and visitors to celebrate. Whether you've got a ticket to a film or not, we invite all of you down to Festival Street. In addition to the great films that were announced today, we also want to highlight Share Her Journey, TIFF's mission-driven movement to help more women filmmakers tell their stories and develop their careers. We know TIFF's discerning audience is eager to be heard in that conversation, so we've done something new this year. We're going to be organizing a Share Her Journey rally on Saturday, September the 8th. That's the first Saturday of the festival on Festival Street. We'll reveal more details about our free Festival Street programming and the rally in the coming weeks. This year, as a part of the Share Her Journey campaign, we've introduced the Mickey Moore Residency. This residency provides one Canadian filmmaker with the opportunity to live, work, and be mentored in Tiff Bell Lightbox. The program will run for 5 years and is very generously supported by broadcaster, journalist, and actor Mickey Moore. The inaugural screenwriter in residence is Nikki Saltz. Nikki founded the script consulting agency House of Stories and is an alumna of the Writers' Lab at the Canadian Film Centre, where she started developing her feature script, Work It. When she's not writing comedy, Nikki also writes and directs horror films with her company, Icky Pictures, whose mandate is to produce horror shorts written and directed by women. It is Nikki's extensive storytelling background, deep knowledge of dramatic writing, and ability to imagine a world outside of her own that makes her an exceptional talent. We welcome Nikki, who's here with us today, and look forward to her future projects. Nikki Saltz, where are you in the room? There she is, over here. Nikki's right here. Thank you. The Filmmaker Lab, formerly known as Talent Lab, returns for its 15th year, offering 22 Canadian and international directors an opportunity to participate in an exceptional artistic development program. They'll receive artistic mentorship and professional development opportunities from internationally acclaimed filmmakers led by our respected governors. These governors, along with other valued guests, generously lend their time and talent to inspire new filmmakers at a key point in their careers. Participants in the lab have gone on to make significant contributions to the industry here in Canada and also around the world, and have included filmmakers such as Michelle Latimer, Sherry White, Pat Mills, and Stephen Dunn. Stephen Dunn fans. Fans and stands of Canadian filmmakers. Feel free to applaud at any time. This year's governors are filmmakers Julie Dash and Will Olroyd, and producers Cassian Elwes and Elizabeth Carlson. Filmmaker Lab is made possible through the support of Telefilm Canada, the Slate Family Foundation, and the RBC Female Creator Initiative. Now, heading into its 8th year at the festival, we're once again proud to announce the return of TIFF Rising Stars. Yes! Rising stars, rising stars. Thank you. Rising Stars, something close to my heart at the festival, is a talent development program which spotlights Canadian acting talent who are preparing to join the next generation making big waves on the global stage. The Rising Stars program is sponsored by L'Oréal Paris and supported by IWC Schaffhausen and Telefilm Canada. And I'm pleased to announce this year's Canadian Rising Stars. Please stand and give us a wave as your name is called. Y'all ready? Devery Jacobs. Michaela Karimsky. Lamar Johnson. And Jess Salguero. All right, good. Congratulations to all of you, to our 4 Canadian Rising Stars. 3 of our Canadian Rising Stars feature in projects that will screen at TIFF 2018. We will announce our international Rising Stars later in the summer, and we look forward to seeing more from these talented young actors in the future. Okay, that may be enough now. We're honored to have the most passionate and dedicated team who work to program the Canadian selection at the festival. Please wave as I call your names. Feature film programmers Steve Gravestock and Dennis Goulet, right over here. Shortcuts programmer Jason Anderson, also Lisa Haller. Jason, where are you? Somewhere. He's over here. Jason's on the other side of the room. Lisa's not here, but sends her best wishes. This team, these 4 programmers, have searched far and wide to build an incredible lineup of Canadian films for the 2018 festival. And now I would like to welcome to the stage Steve Gravestock and Dennis Goulet.
Thanks, Cameron. Oh, sorry, forgot the mic thing. Thanks, Cameron. Before we start, I just want to say I don't think a lot of us would be here if Piers Handling hadn't carved out a section for Canadian films back when he started the Perspective Canada program, and I know I wouldn't be here. And I know we can't go back to the slide, but I'm pretty sure Piers still has that sweater. The Canadian filmmaking community has spent the past year or more producing some genuinely amazing films, and we couldn't be more excited to share them with you and our audiences in September. Our filmmakers have examined the plight of refugees, the dangers facing democracy in our environment, the perils of gentrification and overdevelopment, the perils of being a teenager, the state of the cosmos, the difficulty of hooking up, and of course, the importance of casting Tantu Cardinal, who's in 3 features this year.
Before we get to the features, we would like to acknowledge and celebrate the incredible selection of short films that are included in the Canadian programming this year. These distinctly Canadian works are an eclectic mix of films that test the boundaries of our imaginations and the strength of the human spirit through masterful and innovative filmmaking. This year's selection of Canadian short films includes Zachary Russell's 7A, Guy Madden, Evan Johnson, and Galen Johnson's Accidents, Melina Islam's Antiplano, Alison Snowden and David Fine's Animal Behavior,
Lina Rodriguez's Anti-Mis Ojos. I know, that was great Spanish. Amanda Strong's Vida Bin, sorry. Or The Dawn Comes. Miriam Joubert's Brotherhood. Ian Harnarine's Coroni.
Aaron Rees' Zadzio, Carolyn Monet's Emptying the Tank, Claire Edmondson's Exit, Jeremy Compton's Fauve,
Marie Davignon's Girlfriends, Roni's Glitter's Wild Women, Fantavious Fritz's Good Boy, Louisa Kokora's If This Isn't Love,
Ariane Louis says Little Waves, Sarah Pellerin's My Boy, Sophie Romvari's Norman, Matthew Hannam's Paseo.
Rolla Tahir's Sira, Celia Perrin Sidaros's Slip, Patrick Bouchard's The Subject, and Sofia Bonanovich's Veslomi's Song. Sophia's feature is at the Lightbox next week, I think, so check it out. We have an incredible lineup of Canadian feature films to share, but before we get to that, we wanted to share a little taste of the talent that you can see at TIFF this year.
We are delighted to celebrate this year's selection of Canadian programming, including Jennifer Bejwal, Nicholas de Ponce, and Edward Bertinsky's Anthropocene, Ron Mann's Carmen Street Guitars, Akash Sherman's Clara, Helen Haig Brown and Guy Edenshaw's Edge of the Knife,
Denis Arcand's The Fall of the American Empire, Darlene Neponce's Falls Around Her, Andrea Bousman's Fausto, and Jasmine Mozaffari's Firecrackers.
All right. Sebastien Pilot's The Fireflies Are Gone, Zach Lipovsky and Adam Stein's Freaks, Keith Berman's Giant Little Ones, Maxime Giroux's The Great Darkened Days,
Miranda de Poncier's The Grizzlies, Kim Nguyen's The Hummingbird Project, Bruce Sweeney's Kingsway, René Belliot's Les Salupes, or The Naturally Wanton Pleasure of Skin, and Patricia Rozema's Mouthpiece.
Barry Averich's Prosecuting Evil, The Extraordinary World of Ben Ferenz, Tom Fitzgerald's Splinters, Igor Dirliaka's The Stone Speakers, Don McKellar's Through Black Spruce, and Astra Taylor's What is Democracy? And we will be paying tribute to another fantastic Canadian filmmaker and film, Rob Stewart's Sharkwater Extinction. This will be shown as a special event this year, and we're saddened, of course, that Rob is unable to join us and share in this moment, but we're so honored today to welcome Rob's parents, Brian and Sandy, here today. Brian and Sandy. Thank you.
And now for a special announcement, and one that we think has been eagerly anticipated. Tiff is delighted to confirm that the latest film from award-winning Quebecois director Xavier Dolan, The Death and Life of John F. Donovan, will receive its world premiere at TIFF in the Special Presentations program. Xavier has had a long-standing relationship with TIFF, and we're absolutely thrilled to bring his latest masterpiece to Toronto audiences. I think it's safe to say that this is one of the most widely anticipated films of the festival, and we're ecstatic to show it. Please join me in applauding all our filmmakers today. At the festival, we're fortunate to present 3 awards for Canadian films. These awards are the Canada Goose Award for Best Canadian Feature Film, which carries a cash prize of $30,000. The City of Toronto Award for Best Canadian First Feature Film with a cash prize of $15,000. And the IWC Shortcuts Award for Best Canadian Short Film, which offers a $10,000 cash prize. 2 dedicated juries are entrusted with the challenging task of selecting the award winners. For feature films, this year's esteemed jury is award-winning Montreal filmmaker Mathieu Denis, renowned Toronto journalist and documentarian Michelle Shepard, and legendary Turkish director Ali Özgentürk.
And today we are very thrilled to welcome an extremely talented filmmaker to our stage, Jasmine Mozaffari. Apparently, she has many fans, and in addition to that, she's an award-winning director, producer, and actor whose work has been showcased at some of the world's leading festivals and cultural venues. Welcome, Jasmine.
Full disclosure, I had no idea I was speaking today. But I'm going to thank Tiff first and foremost, for programming Firecrackers, both as a short film in 2013 and as a feature this year. So thank you, Danis and Steve. I really appreciate that. I'm really excited that Michaela is a TIFF Rising Star this year. This was a journey, and I think we took a lot of risks with this film, and it's a film that's about female freedom and getting to that freedom despite being under a patriarchal oppression and fighting misogyny no matter what to get to freedom. And I hope that I made this film for women, and I hope, and it can appeal to everybody, but it's really for women, and I hope that everybody can enjoy that. And I feel so proud to have my first feature at TIFF, so thank you.
Thanks, Jasmine. Our next guest is an award-winning director and producer. Also, her last film was part of Top 10. We're thrilled to Alethea Anna Cook Burrill. Alethea will premiere The Grizzlies here at TIFF in 2018. Miranda de Ponce's feature directorial debut, The Grizzlies, was a creative collaboration between de Ponce and Inuit producers Alethea Anna Cook Burrill and Stacey Aglock McDonald that tells an inspiring true story that was shot on location in McDonald's home community in Nunavut.
My neck is all froze, my team really with it, get with it, no limit when I get back under the road, no finish, no end, it just made it to heaven, turned up to 11 wherever I go, was destined for greatness, y'all already know, so I'm back with the climb, we get back on the road, like whoa, in the zone, just hit the couch and I'm gone, even with us, I don't need to say much, I just been working towards the goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alethea Anna Cook Burrill.
Thank you. Ooh. See, Inuit are short. Can I get an apple box? Hi. I'm Alethea, and I'm an Inuit filmmaker and producer. I want to start by congratulating all my fellow Indigenous creators at the festival this year. It's so exciting. Helen Hag-Brown is my favorite filmmaker, so I'm just dying to see her film. I'm one of the producers of The Grizzlies, and I dare you to watch this film and not have all of the feels. When you see the performances of the Inuit youth in this film, you are all going to be inserting random Arctic scenes into your new scripts just so you can work with these actors. The director of our film, Miranda de Ponce, who is a first-time female director, yay! She desperately wanted to be here today, but unfortunately was unavoidably out of the country, so I hopped on a plane yesterday and came 2,000 kilometers south to Toronto. No big deal, you know. I have a short statement here from Miranda that I'm going to read. We've been working on this film for 9 years, and I could not feel more honored premiering our film to the world at TIFF. Learning about the Arctic during the making of this film has been an incredibly enlightening journey. And while this film does not shy away from the serious issues of suicide and the trauma Canada has inflicted on the North, ultimately, Our movie is an uplifting story that celebrates the heroic strength of these Inuit youth. Thank you to Tiff for believing in our film. Now, when Miranda first came north to explore the possibility of making this film, my first thought was, who is this white lady? And who the heck is she to be telling this story? But Miranda started our conversation by asking questions. Stacey Arluk McDonald is our fellow producer. She's also Inuk, and she's actually from Xorlotok, the community where this story takes place. Miranda sat down with Stacey and me and explained that although she was fascinated and inspired by this true story, she knew nothing about the Arctic and nothing about Inuit. She needed our help. She always had a million questions, and she kept coming back year after year. When she made mistakes, we pointed them out, and she listened. Her determination to include our community in the making of this film at the time was truly not common. Thankfully, it's starting to be expected, but at the time it was not common. Together, we auditioned over 500 youth from all over the Arctic, no small task, and trained them in a series of acting and cultural workshops. We workshopped the script with Inuit actors and read version after version of the script and saw our notes starting to come to life within it. In the end, more than a third of our crew were Indigenous. The Grizzlies marks a collaboration between Hollywood, Toronto, and the North, and Miranda weaved this all together in a way that was mutually rewarding. As a vocal advocate of issues on representation in film, I'm proud to say that I see myself in this film. I see my community in this film. I'm proud of the film itself, but I'm also proud of how it was made. Thank you. Above all, I am blazingly proud of the brilliant and unflinching performances of the Inuit youth in this film. Every single one of the many Inuit who worked on this film, from the actors to the crew to the producers, have lived this story. And as Stacey reminded me last night, the performances of the Inuit youth transcend everything. Both the actors and the real-life Grizzlies sports team showcase the power of Inuit youth and Inuit communities. With the kind of fear-mongering and wall-building that's going on in the world right now, we wanted to talk about inclusion, listening, community, love, and hope. Because when the world darkens, we just have to work harder to make our own light. Thank you, Tiff. Thank you, Tiff.
Thank you so much to Jasmine and Alethea and to all of the Canadian filmmaking talent who have joined us today to celebrate our Canadian film selections. We are anxious to present these films to audiences from around the world, and this year's festival begins in just a few short weeks on September the 6th. This concludes our presentation for today. We will continue our annual tradition of taking a class photo, so all filmmakers and actors, please head to the red carpet for a group photo. Thank you all for coming. Enjoy the afternoon. See you at the festival.
See you soon.